program is brought to you by FanDuel, where we give sports fans the chance to win every day.
Well, nah, what's happening? Say, y'all, I'm starting to think that NBA sleeping on the Pels. What y'all think? Hold up.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Before we get into all that, man, let's get into this, man. We got my dogs in the building. Before we get to them, though, shout out to all the sponsors: Taz, FanDuel, John Deere, Sunshine, Scott Vicknair. You know them boys fight for the win. 504 500 1111. Company Burger, man. Everybody, man. If you want your name up here in these bright lights, you know what I'm saying? Come holler at the boys.
We got the new sponsor alert too. I don't know if we got anything queued up for them, but the AC Ambulance. Welcome aboard.
Shout
out AC Ambulance.
Shout out to AC Ambulance. Anybody not feeling well, you know what I'm saying? We'll get the number up here soon. You know what I'm saying? We'll take care of that. My dogs, how y'all doing? Ross, what's good?
Another day in paradise.
Girl,
I can't call it.
I feel you. The biggest boss, Ross.
That you've seen thus far.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Chaz. What's good, my dog?
Oh man, narrowly escaped an assassination attempt, but I'm doing all right.
I seen that on your block, man. You straight?
Yeah, amateur night.
Man, you come at the king, you better not miss, man.
Yeah,
the Pelicans finally sent some people for you, Chad?
Oh, better late than never. I was feeling a little insulted.
Man, we got my dog, man. Me and my dog, Five, man. We was kicking it at the fest yesterday, man. Like mad people walked up to us. Well, I don't know if they walked up to him. He said nobody talked to him, but mad people walked up to me and they was talking about the pod, man. So shout out to everybody. And my dog Five a star. I was like, man, Five out here, man. What Five at? They was like, fuck me, like, what Five here? I'm like, yeah, bro, he over there.
Lito, you gotta realize you like 6'6", right? So it's easy to target you. I'm running around my son. He got a whole face painted like Spider-Man. So of course the attention not really on me. It's easy to spot you. But shout out to Gentilly Fest.
Yeah, man.
Gentilly Fest, man.
Man, I've been looking at oh wait, hold up 1 second. Before we get into that, let's get into this. Shout out to FanDuel, man. FanDuel right now, if y'all want to go place a little parlay, they got your man Trey Murphy at a plus 5,000 for most improved player. I don't really think that sounds like good money to me.
I'll take the odds. I
think I might put a little parlay together tonight, actually. Shout out to FanDuel, man.
Shout out to FanDuel.
Y'all, man, I've been looking at ESPN. I looked at CBS News. I looked at Bleacher Report. Listen, man, I'm not a company man, and it's crazy that, the Pelicans hate us, but look what they got to come to get the respect, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of I've seen so far the Pelicans are going to win anywhere from 28 to 32 games. 28 to 32. Yo, listen. I'm not saying they're gonna set the world on fire. I feel like that's a little disrespectful.
Yeah. Bro, I kind of been beating this drum pause this entire offseason. I feel like a lot of it's just some of the narrative surrounding, the front office hiring and Joe Dumars and the way it was done. It was done a little it wasn't the most the most due diligence didn't seem to be done, but it happened. And I think you couple that with the Derek Queen trade and how some people feel about Jordan Poole, but I think a lot of that is just people kind of going into the situation with a glass half empty approach. Personally, I see the talent on this team. I don't think they're in oh man, shout out to Ashton, new member. We appreciate you, brother. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat. And before I kick this whistle, I just want to say it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Make sure you please take your loved ones, the ladies in your life, to go get themselves checked out, fellas. Men can also get breast cancer as well. So just do your due diligence. Check yourself out, man. It don't got to be October for you to do it, but just take some time out to look after your health. But yeah, man, I just think people underselling this roster because, again, You haven't seen Zion healthy in quite a while, and it's always the cloud over there with that. Then Trey Murphy's, he was out last year. Herb was out last year. I heard some people call it one of the worst center situations in the league. I don't know if I agree with that. Yep. In fact, I'm gonna say I don't. I don't think it was one of the worst in the league. But and I think it's also an indictment on how people feel about the coaching staff. I think the rose is off the bud because you don't even hear people saying, well, Willie Green, he's gonna have those guys playing hard. You don't even hear that anymore. It's almost like Willie don't at this point. You don't hear anything about him whatsoever. So I feel like a lot of it's just narratives that have carried over going into this preseason.
Russ, bro, let me ask you this. ESPN got the Pelicans at 30.5 wins. That's the bottom of the West. Like, I guess the question I'm asking is, do you agree? And if not, why is the outlook so egregious?
So, yeah, look, I think that's low. I think 30 wins would have probably been, third to last in the West last year, maybe. I think we were whatever. I mean, you're right. It's a very bottom. I think that I don't want to say worst case scenario because this team has certainly surprised me. That feels a bit like a worst case scenario. I think it comes back to I know that some folks think this is a talented roster, but I think the low expectations are half of what Chaz just said, which is kind of an indictment on Willie Green, and the other half, like an indictment on a lack of star power and box office sort of talent on the roster. Like Zion is going to have to rehabilitate that part of his reputation, I think, and it's why people don't really seem to respect the organization or the team, even when it seems like, man, the outlook should be a little better than this. Like when you look around the West, like Jokic is thought of much more highly than Zion. Anthony Edwards is thought of much more highly than Zion. LeBron and Kawhi and Durant and the other guys in Houston. You still got Curry and Butler. Like most of the teams still have, I think, guys that have done more recently. And for that reason, it's like, yeah, look, the Pelicans have backed themselves into a I don't believe it until you prove it situation now. And I think that's literally what you're seeing here, because on paper, I mean, they should win more than 30 games, but everybody is, and look, I'm kind of in the same boat of until you finally prove something, I'm gonna expect what I'd normally see, which is
a joke,
disappointment. Yeah.
That's real. 5. When you look at a core of Zion, Herb, Trey, Jordan Poole, Looney, Sadiq Bey, Fears, etc., right? Does that sound like a 30-win team to you?
No, but I think this is like a necessary disrespect, right? Like when Zion first got drafted here, like remember they had all the national TV games, they had this, and year after year, it was always just floating around like, why is this team on national TV? They shouldn't have these games. And now it's like, well, I always thought like teams should prove it when they should get those games, right? They should, be in the prove it stage. Yeah, 1 or 2 here and there, and maybe 4 or 5, that would be okay. But, the amount that they had was like 10 plus. Like this team isn't good enough for that. Like we need to have good basketball and good habits for that. But with this roster now, I do think 30 is super low. But also, like, you are what your previous record show. Like, until you prove otherwise, like, who are other people outside of New Orleans to think otherwise? Right? This is where I'm kind of agreeing with, like, the national media. Like, y'all ain't did nothing for me to say. Why would I move differently? Y'all don't move differently. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. That's idiotic. So we'll see with this team. I think they'll win more than 30 games, but let's see if they can prove it.
How many more than 30? My bad.
Nah. Hopefully it's 13 more.
Okay.
Hopefully.
What you was about to say, Chaz?
Personally, I live for disrespect. Like I love this competitive shit. I think this is exactly the type of energy this team needs. I think, again, I've seen how Zion responds to all this positive press, and some people, you got to know what motivates them. Would you like to be able to give positive reinforcement to some people? Sure, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to curse people out like a dog, and that's what motivates them. Trey Murphy here already said he has a list. Jordan Poole said he wants to return to his winning ways. Even someone like Kevon Looney, who's probably thought of as more of a strong, silent type, he's come out and said he felt disrespected by Steve Kerr. And Kevon Looney, he tried to kind of get in his bag this preseason. I don't know if he should have been doing that, but shout out to him. Eve Meesey, friend of the show, he got some things to prove. I think everyone has a chip on their shoulder and got things to prove. Derek Queen, he said he wants to make Joe Dumars look like a genius. I'm sure Joe Dumars himself wants to look like a genius. I'm sure Troy Weaver don't want to look like the guy who messed it up in Detroit, and now Tokens, they're fixing everything. So I think this entire building really feels, I don't necessarily think they feel shortchanged, but I do think they're all on one accord from the standpoint of, we got to show and prove, because there's an opportunity. I know we will speak about more of that later, but there's an opportunity for them to get out to a solid start and kind of make up for some of the bad faith that they've given to the viewership nationally.
Let me ask you a question, because I think you guys just touched on something there with everybody sort of singing the same song about feeling a little disrespect. You think that comes from Dumars? Because you never heard really this kind of talk with Griffin, or under the Griffin regime rather. Like you never heard this, we feel like we should be X, Y, or Z, or it feels like everybody's punking us. It was always kind of this quiet, weird narrative stuff. Yeah, it seems like that's
put our head down, do the work type thing, right?
Weird stuff, yeah.
I think it definitely comes from Joe, because I just look at his history with Chauncey Billups, who was thought of as a bust. Rashid, even you got an undersized 5 and Ben Wallace, even Rip Hamilton, when he got drafted to the Wizards, it was like, United. Then he goes to the Pistons and they figure it out for him. Or he figures it out there. And also, what up, Jared? Also, someone else I missed. Oh, even taking a chance on a guy like Allen Iverson. Just saying, we ain't counting y'all. We believe. Terrible move, by the way. But we think you still got more in the tank. Let's do this. So I do think that I think they're taking on the personality of their leader, and their leader to me is Joe Dumars. Mm-hmm. And even with Zion's press conference, when he spoke about Joe Dumars, he was like, sometimes he kind of got that look like you don't really want to approach him. Like, I don't talk to him right now. And in the preseason, when Jose got hurt, thank God he's okay, but best award goes to. But Jose, when he was going to the locker room, and you see Zion walking back in the locker room, following him as the leader on the team. So I do think a lot of that is trickling down from someone with a great legacy in the NBA, being Joe Dumars.
And it was less for me about I think it was more of just a different way to motivate, right? I don't think Griff was motivating anybody. I think I don't know what he was doing really. And it seems like Dumars is at least making an effort to try to find something to push players in a different way, right? Which is and it seems like the first step is, hey, everybody thinks y'all a bunch of punks. Look, they think y'all stink. We'll see.
And to piggyback off that, I just don't think New Orleans in general operates from a good place of we're good. When the expectations are super high, that ain't happening. They need to feel disrespected to perform well. It just, no matter how if we want to talk politics, we want to talk sports, we want to talk anything else, economics, this city needs to feel disrespected to perform well. I don't know what it is. That's just kind of how I see it.
I definitely think that that attitude is coming from Joe. Griff had such a kumbaya lullaby, everybody just get along, hold hands type approach
around the piano, right?
Yeah, bro. Like it was no competitive. It was no. You could look at the banners in the arena. I mean, at the practice facility. Like you look at the banners that told you. It said nothing about competitiveness in those banners. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a nurturing, caring environment, and I think it was too nurturing, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta breed a competitive environment because. Bro, we athletes, like we professional basketball players. Like we not not in daycare. You know what I'm saying? Like we not trying to do some bullshit. Like we out here trying to win an NBA title, or at least you should be. That should be the goal, right? Like if you coming into training camp and the goal ain't to do that. Like go home, go back home, bro. Like go back home. But yeah, I think it's definitely. Yeah, come on.
Shout to E with that dub piece. We appreciate you, big
partner. Bro.
He said Pelicans to the rest of the NBA. F all y'all season for sure, for shiggity. Appreciate you with that dub piece of my dog.
Chaz, let me ask you this, Chaz. Is the Pelicans roster would you say it's undervalued because of injuries or inconsistency?
For that $20, I say it's all of the above. I think they totally been counted out. They've been had. They've been took.
Hoodwinked.
But no, I think a lot of it is I think it's both, but mostly injuries because I think for us Jordan Poole, if the punch doesn't happen, you view Jordan Poole's career arc looks totally different right now, right? So I don't think people really put that on him. I just think he's a like low-hanging fruit for jokes because like some of the meme-worthy things he does. But man, I think again, it all has to do with Zion's not being available. Not like really true, like because you look at a guy like Cade Cunningham right now. Cade was number one, if I'm not mistaken, and for years he was bad in Detroit, and now he's gotten to, and he was injured as well. Mm-hmm. And even when he was available, he just wasn't playing like really good basketball. He's kind of just like okay. And last year he took the leap and kind of figured it out. But it's different when you teasing the fan base and the media with greatness, and then you just keep disappearing. Like you're not showing up, and you ain't just being injured. You're out of shape. It's this, it's that. You're just in the media for all the wrong reasons. For Trey Murphy is still, the idea of Trey Murphy is still fascinating to a lot of people, but you got to show up and deliver. Of course, Herb was hurt last year. We know Herb was left off of the top perimeter defenders list, side to side, out of mind. You know, this is what have you done for me lately, league? Unfortunately, right? But I think I think a lot of it's just being undersold. Truthfully,
I think the one piece of it, Chaz, that I'll add to that, because I think you're right. A big part of it is just like inconsistency and injury. I do think there's a huge component of the like disrespect and the sort of lack of expectation that comes with how dysfunctional it's been too, right? Because there's been other teams that have had like, look, we've given the team and organization a hard time because of how hard they sold that. Well, we won 49 games. We didn't necessarily believe that it was replicable, but at the same time, they did win 49 games, right? Like that's still an accomplishment. And had they built on that or maintained it, I don't think people would be speaking this way. I think they'd say, hey, as a team that kind of, had some injuries, but look, the future's still bright. I think with how dysfunctional the whole thing has been the last few years is why you've now gotten to this level of low expectation, right? Like Memphis had a few years ago where they won 20 games. And then the very next year bounced back. No one was talking about them that way. There's been plenty of teams, I think, that have these 1 year, 2 year dips, be it injury, be it coaching change, whatever. And they don't immediately just get written off and buried. So there's a little bit of a two-part component of that. One, you got to stay healthy and you got to play well. The other is don't be so damn dysfunctional. And I think Dumars will handle the dysfunction part.
Russ, outside of Zion, what player do you think could help change the narrative of like what the outside media thinks? Is this strictly on Zion, or do you believe that like I don't want to say a player's name, but do you think any other player can help change that narrative?
If I was going to say anyone, I think it would have to be Queen or Fears.
Okay.
I think if one of the rookies comes in and plays really well, it automatically lends some credibility to what you're doing, right? Like if Derek Queen comes in and plays really well, people go stop talking about that trade pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And you're winning games, and Queen and Fears are contributing to that. I mean, then that pick gets pushed, and then that pick's going to be in the 20s or something. People just aren't going to care. It's not going to be as big a deal. So I think that'll kind of get the monkey off their back from just a public perception perspective of like, hey, yeah, look, they made that deal, and we all thought it kind of stunk, but like the dude's out there balling, so is what it is. I think it'd have to be one of those two guys because, I mean, you sort of know what you're going to get from Herb. I think at this point, you know what you're going to get from Trey. If Zion's healthy, like when he's played, he's always been really good. I think you know what you're going to kind of get from Looney. I mean, there's probably more of a question mark with Poole than anybody else there from like a boom or bust perspective. But if you're gonna get past that hurdle of like, yeah, y'all just suck and you're always going to suck and every move you make sucks, it's going to have to be with some young player sort of making an ascension or a leap. And the rookies are the obvious choices for me there.
I do think some of it is also like relationship driven to a degree. I think you connect the dots between, some people who say certain things and you just zoom out a little bit, you see a tie there and a relationship there without getting into like specifics. And I think that's a part of it, because at the end of the day, this is it's entertainment. And everyone's kind of got an agenda. Like there's a reason why Shams put out that story about the DeJounte Murray with Clutch, because, and it's not a knock to DeJounte Murray, but realistically, who was asking about that? He just randomly was like, hey, I got a DeJounte Murray update. He's looking good. And then it's like, shout out to Clutch for, helping us push the envelope. But to answer your question, I think it's going to have to be Fears and Queen. But I think, of course, Trey and, other guys like that, the people who we the obvious catalyst. But I think the trade is, to Ross's point, the trade is really that dark cloud hanging over the season, because it's like, damn, you ain't have to do that. But personally, bro, I kind of think they're ready then, unless they're terrible this season, then which it wouldn't matter anyway. But I think once Milwaukee decided that they were going to be competitive this year, it kind of took some of the sting out of that trade. But you still got the Indiana trade. Like, it's just a couple of those moves just seem unredeemable unless Derek Queen is just incredible. And I think or at least a solid contributor this season. I think hopefully you see that this season.
It's Trey Murphy for me. I know they went with Fears and Queen, but if Trey Murphy has like this existential leap, right? Like none of that shit really matters. If Trey Murphy is an all-star and this team's like a 4 seed, the trade, like we won't even be mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it won't matter. And I truly believe that he could be an all-star this season. He has all the tools. Like then the pairing of Zion and Trey is like, oh, this is what they should have been doing, right? Like the Brandon thing should have almost never got to year 3. It should have ended very quickly. But if Trey has the leap, we won't mention Fears and Queen's growth, because then that gets pushed down and they actually have a chance to really grow into a role rather than hurry up and be the man. So I truly think it's on Trey's shoulders.
So far, let's stay there for a second, because I want to talk about Trey. I do want to talk about Trey, but let me ask you this before we actually talk about Trey. What kind of identity, what aspect of the team should the Pelicans lean into this season? Like what foundational, like core, like should it be a fast-paced offense? Should it be toughness, grit and grind? Should it be deep? Like what do you think they should lean into to become the successful team?
Yeah, I'm truly tired of like the like every NBA player is probably going to play hard. Some need to play harder than others. Yeah. Like get away from that, because that's only going to get you so far. That should be a baseline identity if you have it, right? Like yo, we're going to play hard. Because you look at the Celtics, like, yo, Missoula's a madman. You don't think they play hard? But they also teach well. They also, have an identity in what they want to do. Like, hey, we're going to get to the corners. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. Also, we're going to attack the rim. Like, put people in predicaments where they don't want to be in, and we're going to recreate that constantly. If I'm the Pelicans, you should play fast, right? Great, we understand that. 0.5 offense, great. But the principle should be we need to get to the rim as much as possible. We need to put constant pressure on the rim at all costs, and then collapse the defense for shooters. Not shoot first, get to the rim second. No, get to the rim first and then shoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the motto I would preach, because that puts everybody at an advantage. And the person you want to get the ball to get downhill is a mismatch masonry. Like he should get downhill at all costs. Like, I don't want to see Zion shooting 5 threes a game. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would need him to shoot, but I don't. Like, he should be, maybe the second quarter he should shoot his first jumper. But everything else should be downhill. So that should be the principle they should lean into.
So, Trey, I'm with you, 5, and I also agree with Ross and Chaz about what they said, because I think in due time that will happen. But I think if the narrative is going to change presently, this dude got to be a part of it. So here you see his stats from 2023-24 to 24-25. Obviously, he didn't have a whole lot of games. But from what you see here, it literally went from 4.2 drives a game to 9.2. You have rim attempts. You said, rim pressure basically 1.7 to 4 rim attempts a game. Mid range 1.4 to 3.6 for anybody who's listening and not watching. Free throws, which is huge, 2.6 to 4.3. Assists 2.2 to 3.5. I'll just go around the panel. Like, what do these numbers tell you about his mindset and his confidence?
For me, I think it's someone seeing the runway. I think some of that is like sink or swim, where it's like, well, damn, no one else is out here. I gotta be the guy if it's gonna happen. And I think he rose to the occasion. I also think you kind of gotta grade Trey a little differently, because he was coming off a very serious injury, couldn't play in the preseason, training camp, things happened. So it kind of took him a while to get back into the groove of things as well. But once he was fully entrenched prior to his injury, he was putting up multiple 40-point games against real defenses, not just the Wizards. He was doing it against the Celtics. He was balling. Like, dude was showing his handle, finishing through contact, finishing over defenders. I think I'm gonna find this highlight, but some of the screens Looney will be able to set to create space. I gotta find this clip, but something like this, his pairing with a Trey. I saw Looney take out 2 defenders on a Zion screen. Just took 2 of them out. One of the easiest, cleanest lanes you'll see for Zion getting to the rim. So I think for this team, from identity standpoint, and even to maximize what Trey does well, and Zion does all of these guys, is getting out transition. That's 3 R's: rebound, run to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Rebound, run to the rim. Because you get out transition, you can run. Jordan Poole's a hell of a player in transition. We already know who Zion is in transition. We know who Trey is in transition. Even Herb, we know who Herb is in transition. Eve Meese's there. We know he can do in transition. Carlo, etc. But I think with these guys, it's going to be attention to detail, boxing out. It's just fundamentals, KISS method. Keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Just box out, focus on the fundamentals, kick the ball up ahead. And if you got Zion coming downhill with Jordan Poole on the left wing, Trey Murphy on the right wing, like, it's in theory, this could be an incredible thing to watch. I think in this team in transition will be one of the best in the league if they can rebound.
Ross, what's your thought? Go ahead.
I don't care what Trey. I mean, I care about Trey's stats to a certain degree, right? Because they've got to be what they are. But what I want from Trey is the leap in value, Like, and what I mean by that is like, I still have questions about what Trey can mean on a winner. Like, what is Trey Murphy on a winner? Like, where or how does he immediately jump into like, man, a bona fide all-star, right? Like take Tyrese Halliburton, for example. And this isn't a comparison to the style of player, but I need Trey to take that kind of leap from like, oh, nice little complimentary player, to like, oh no, we like, put him in the all-star game. He can help lead you into the playoffs. Kind of the same. Tyrese Maxey, a good example. Like, I need to see the leap of like really good player, show some real cool stuff, seems very interesting. But then the next year it's like, oh no. He's like the foundation. I mean, this guy's a foundational piece of what we're doing. There's no more of this like, he's got a lot of potential. Like, I don't care about the potential anymore. I need like, it needs to either come to fruition or not for me, for Trey. Part of that is just playing, right? Like we give some of the other players a hard time for missing games. Like Trey has missed a lot of games, and I think some of this could happen. But I want to see that leap like that Jaylen Brown took in year 4 or Tyrese Maxey took in year 3 or 4, where they go from, hey, there might be something here to like, hey, you got a bona fide all-star that on any given night could be the best player, most impactful, most valuable player on the floor for that game. That's what I want to see. What's up, Mini 5? What's up, Cinco?
Say what's up.
What's up?
Well, nah.
But that's really what I want to see. That to me is it's a value thing for Trey, for me, not as much a statistic, because I think he can impact games without scoring 28. Like, I think he could be the best player on the floor some nights and score 20, 22. If he's getting a bunch of rebounds and into 5 points, he's pushing the agenda, push the ball up the floor, block shots. Like, there's other things he can do to impact the game. And I just don't want it to always be about like, necessarily a stat related thing.
I feel you.
Now,
Go ahead.
To that point, like, he got to almost be Jimmy Butler. Like,
expound.
Like, you got to be a winner. Like, you got to be the reason this team won. Like, exactly. I don't care what your stats are. Did your team win, and did you impact the game? Jimmy Butler would have these games where like he'd have 10 points going into quarter at the end of the third quarter.
Midway,
yeah, and then fuck around at the end of the game, he got 22. You was in foul trouble half the time.
Makes like 2 plays on the defensive end that like impact the game in the fourth
charge.
Quarter. Yeah, because gets an and one. Yeah, it's
like shit like that changes games. Like, that's value, and I think that's what Ross is like. Yeah. Value that you fuck around with Trey Murphy, yeah, he gonna steal one. Like you mess around, he gonna end up with 30 points at the end of the game, and then that's what I want to see from him.
Me too. You go from a leader to a winner. Everybody says you're the leader of the team. All right, now go be a winner too.
Real, y'all all said something, and somebody in the chat said this as well, and I wanted to just kind of bring this up to the screen. I don't remember where this is from, but Zion said, and again, anybody who's listening and not reading, watching, that is, individually, there's a lot of things I feel like I could have done better. The first game, rebounding was definitely one, and just getting into sets, even if they don't score, instead of just being all over the place. I have never heard Zion talk about rebounding before, ever. I can't think of a quote from him in his tenure here where he has said something about rebounding the basketball, or even like, the sets, because it's been a lack thereof. It's ATOs, but it's not been like a specific set being called for this team. Is this how do y'all feel about him talking like this in year set going into this season?
I think it's interesting. I would just like, I'll play this real quick. Let's.
And this is different to what we've seen in the first 2 games. They're much more retreated, not picking up, and wow, they might need to have a look at some weak.
That was a hell of a screen by Looney.
Oh, smart basketball.
I think a couple of the plays I saw in the preseason, offensive wise, I kind of got the idea of what they were trying to do. And I thought it was interesting. I think sometimes the lineups didn't necessarily, but it's the preseason. You trying shit, you got injuries, etc. One what I'll say, the takeaway I have from what I saw, because I can only judge him by the film, is I thought the effort was there in both games. And if he saw himself as making a correction going from game 1 to game 2, and he made a point of emphasis on rebounding, I think that's excellent. Because you don't, like to Ross's point, you don't always have to score to impact the game in a positive way. Sometimes it is rebounding, sometimes it's getting blocks, steals. I thought defensively the effort was there all night. They make a few mistakes, yeah, of course, but I thought the effort was there. That's why he wind up getting a couple of steals. I think Trey Murphy had about 3 steals in his first game. So what I like to see is the guys flying around and not just being lackadaisical, not taking these games for granted. And I just hope that trend continues no matter how things are going, no matter how the sets are drawn up, no matter how, you feel about the tutelage or lack thereof being given out there. You got to show up in the effort, because effort helps cover up a lot of flaws from a schematic standpoint.
I'm glad we actually brought up this kind of point. Because I ended up saying this in going into year 7. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's refreshing, to necessary. Also, to bring up the rebounding, I think he understands how important that is, not only for his game, but for his team to win. And we piggyback that and transition that to sets. I wish they would have ran more intricate things during these 2 games in Australia, because I look at a team like, I don't know if you watch Phoenix play, right? Like they're already they look like they've been playing for months. Like the things that they're running, I was like, yo, this is not normal for a team to be doing this in the preseason. JJ Redick talked about it. He was like, man, look, we didn't look like that until 20 games in. Where I always thought that's huge for a team to try to work on things you're going to work on during the season way before training camp happens. You need to know where guys is, because basketball is such a non-communication, verbal communication game. It's all about feel. You need to know where guys are without saying, hey, get to the corner. Basketball just doesn't work that way. And they need to start working on things that they're going to be good at now. If you want to be really good at it, you need to have it almost perfected by December. And they're not at this point, right? But they need to start working towards that.
And 5, I'm glad you said that, because that's been one of the things that's always bothered me about this, we're going to play with force, or we're going to play hard, or whatever thing that always gets said, because in my opinion, it's a cop-out, because it's something you can always, you can say that after every game, after every loss. We just got to find a way to play with more energy or whatever. It's a cop-out. It's a profession. These guys are professionals, and by consistently leaning on that as an excuse in some regard, it's showing me that you really didn't have any plan, that you really didn't work on anything, that there was nothing more intricate. You talked about, what should be sort of the identity going into the season, this, that, and the other. And I'm always sort of taken aback at this, well, we're going to play harder than everybody else thing, just like you said. It's that's not even the identity of New Orleans. It's not even this isn't necessarily a, super incredibly hard-working place. It's when they've been good at stuff, it's been with creativity and with it, and with creative energy and doing things a little different and stuff. So it's show me that. Show me something that is more than just hey, we're gonna get after it.
Yeah. You think Pittsburgh, and I get what you're saying, the old steel curtain. One thing that it reminded me of something. I don't know if y'all saw Doug Christie's post game after the first Kings lost this preseason, and it was the most nonsensical shit. I was like, what the hell? Doug Christie said, there's 82 games, right? But it's the game within the game, which means there's going to be, I think he said 164 or something like that. He said so it's 164 games, right? Something like that. He said, so we're going to lose one, but we ain't going to lose the other one. The other one's the fight. So we're going to win the fight every night. We may or may not win the game, but we're going to always win the fight. What the fuck are you talking about? It's about winning the game. Who cares about the fight? It was just is this the makings of a disaster, right? So to me, that's kind of what Ross is saying. Also, like, look, man, all these cliche-isms, whatever.
Hate them.
Like Dallas for years was the softest team in the NBA. They were winning like 60 games, number 1 seed, but they were soft. Just do that. Just go win the 60 games. Just go win the 60 games, and we'll worry about making y'all tough later. Just go win the 60 games. So I just think it's all about going out there and winning, man. And I believe in the talent on this team to a degree, but I do believe rebounding is going to be an issue, and I hope we address it at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna talk about injuries, Chaz. I'm gonna let you expound on that. Before we do that, man, let's run a little commercial, and we be right back.
Hey, you dropped your wallet. And this just in, attorney Scott Vicknair was seen chasing an ambulance. Wow.
For real?
But that's David Vicknair, not Scott.
I'm still confused.
Ambulance chaser?
Hey, you dropped your mom?
My wallet. Oh, thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, man. Shout out to the guys, man. It's the Scott Vicknair Law Firm. You already know.
I'm still confused. That was a great
line. Y'all, there's a lot of injuries happening. Like the Pelicans might have a runway to this over 30 and a half games, just simply by the amount of injuries that the NBA is having. I'm gonna run down a quick list of players who may or may not be playing this season, right? All right. You got Halliburton, right? He out.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum, he out.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving is looking like March or so. Dame out. Jaren Jackson, turf toe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about his timeline yet. LeBron, me and Brian got the same injuries. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Jayshawn Tate for the Rockets. Keegan Murray.
I could have left Jayshawn off, but
John Morant week to week.
John Morant.
De'Aaron Fox is out to start the year.
De'Aaron Fox out with a hammy.
Yep.
Who? Anybody else we miss?
You said Keegan. Is Markkanen? I mean, not the Utah.
Yeah.
I think he might be dinged up.
See anybody that really matters to us specifically. You never know what's going on with Kawhi and them, but shit. Even if that is it, and Luka still hasn't even played. Supposedly Luka isn't injured, but he ain't played yet. Jalen Williams for OKC is hurt. No, he got like a hand injury, right, or wrist injury.
Yeah.
Moses Moody is hurt. He just got hurt for Golden State. Fred VanVleet, he's out for the season.
Scoot tore his hamstring, I think, right?
Damn, so Scoot out. Yeah, I think things are kind of shaping up in the Pelicans' favor if they can stay healthy to build a small lead. And when you're going down the stretch, man, those 3-4 games, like, we used to annoy the shit out of me. Now it really doesn't. But oh man, it was the infamous 49 win season when we was dropping the games in like October, November, and people was like, "Oh, you don't win in November." Like, no, motherfucker, they all count the same at the end of the year. It don't matter when you got the win. It matters that you got them. They all count the same, i.e., season derailing loss. So. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be like taking these games for granted in November when you got the advantage. Unfortunately, we don't play the Kings till like February, but hopefully they season over by then and we can just kind of, be the ones to put the dirt on them. But a couple of these teams we're going to play while they're injured. We're going to play Memphis. We're going to play OKC, Dallas. A couple of these teams we're going to have to take advantage of what's happening. Go ahead, Ross.
No, I was saying, Chaz, you're exactly right, because that's something that's always pissed me off. This whole it's still early. Like, you got 82, a loss is a loss. It counts the same. But you've seen some teams start off. Detroit, good example last year. Detroit really didn't play all that good down the stretch last year, but they played so well early on that it carried over. Dallas, shit, by the end of the season, Dallas had a MASH unit out there. Still ended up around 500 just because they started the season so well. I think even Houston, to a certain degree, started the season so well, and they kind of rode.
Fred VanVleet. Did we say Fred VanVleet?
Yeah, we
got it. Okay, I'm sorry.
But even Houston kind of rode that wave of like moment. Like you get momentum, you start winning games. There's something to that. Like you figure out how to win, and then you get. I think it's really important. You got to get off. This team is notoriously slow starters, like horribly. They got to find a way to start this season quick.
And also, if you're the Pelicans and you got youth on your side, you look like at certain teams like Lakers, who pretty old, older themselves. You got teams like the Celtics, who like teams that have gone deep into the postseason, who may have tired legs. OKC. You look at when you're playing these teams, 3 games and 5 nights back.
Clippers real old.
Yeah, Clippers extremely old. We talk about rest advantages and things like that. If you're the Pelicans, it's just like, again, you gotta take the money where you can get it. You can't be choking away games to the Jazz like you've done in years past. The teams you're supposed to be, you got to be good at home. You got to be good at home. in years past, we haven't been that good at home. We got to be good at home, and you got to beat the teams you're supposed to be on the road.
While we're talking about injuries, let me ask this: do y'all think this kind of early wave of injuries could open up any opportunities for trades? Typically see.
Well, before we go there, just because I knew that was going to kind of segue there. We talked about playing older teams. This is why style of play will matter. Don't go out there fucking shooting 43s off rip. Like, you got to attack these teams, downhill constantly, get them in foul trouble. That way they don't want to play that game the entire night, right? Like, we got to get to a point where they
discourage
like if you trying to get in a shooting battle, like the Celtics might have a chance, right? The Clippers could come back and like they have enough to get back into a game. That's why style of play will matter. But as we talk about trades,
no, I mean I think that's a obviously depending on how this team goes and how other team goes, like you would be either a buyer or seller in this market. Like, hey, Chaz, that shit fire. You drank that whole bottle. Yeah.
I got this from Mass.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Show. Ross, since you asked the question, like, what are your feelings on the trade market and the Pels being buyers or sellers?
I think, look, I kind of expect them to get out to a good start, which, typically makes me think that they would be a buyer, try to find some low-hanging fruit from a team that's, started slow, trying to get rid of a contract. You never know. The flip of that always is right. Like you've got some young players that may or may not be contributing. I don't know really what the plan yet is in the regular season for Fears and Queen. And Peavy, even to a certain degree, like, sometimes organizations feel like those are their trades, right? Like if you're getting legitimate contributions from those players, then hey, do we really need to go bring in like an established veteran or a more expensive player when we're getting something similar from guys that could be here for a while? So I don't know. I think there are some players that if they become available, you always have to like do the best you can to try to get them. I know the one that we've kind of talked about a little bit would be somebody like Sabonis. I mean, if he ends up being out there, you try to find a way. But I don't know. You got to kind of see how the season starts.
What you think, Chaz?
I think you go get your guy, man. I think in the event like with the Keegan Murray injury, Keegan Murray not someone who's historically lit the world on fire, like not the last 2 or 3 seasons, but they don't have a ton of wing depth. And you look at the reporting on Dumars right now, it's like, all right, bro. All right, Dumars. So to me, that changes what other teams do, which could create advantages for you. Because if, let's say if the Kings did have some interest in Russell Westbrook, now they're like, now we can't do that. Now we need a wing. So now we got to go, maybe we go bring Trey Lyles back, or go do something else, whatever that other thing is. Now we got to go do that, and it creates more of an opportunity for you. For me, when I see the rumors surrounding Walker Kessler, who was very unhappy in his press, there's been some telling press conferences, man. He was very unhappy in his press conference. Dumars Sabonis, it's about Domantas Sabonis, for example, someone who got a history and a connection to Joe Dumars to a degree. I think for me, I would rather you do these moves earlier than later, personally, because when I look at the DeJounte Murray timeline and how that's going, that kind of kicks things into like February and close. The season could potentially be over by then if your luck goes bad. But for someone like Walker Kessler, it's like, man, you can do that now. You can kind of do that now if you really wanted to. If you overpay a little bit, so what? You're paying towards, he fits the timeline. You know you're gonna extend him. It costs money to make money. And I see this team, if they can figure out the front court and that second unit is having a pathway to making some noise in the postseason, because like on paper talent, to me, they lined up with some of the I would say top 10 teams in the league, bottom top 10, but they lined up with some of the upper echelon teams in the league, in my opinion.
That was always the move for me. And
Walker.
Yeah. You know what's wild? Like, I've never heard, no offense, Ross, a white person get upset about trying to like leave Utah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never thought that there'd be this thing of a Caucasian player in Utah trying to leave and just exacerbated about it. Like, he just don't want to be there. Like, you just don't see this. So what is going on in Utah for folks trying to for him to try to leave like that?
I think
it was weird. I would have thought the year before, because he had a real good rookie year, and then that second season, remember they like weren't starting him.
Yeah, him and Collins co-starting and shit.
Yeah, I would have thought that was it, but it seemed. I mean, from what I recall, he actually had a pretty good season last year. He started. I don't know. I mean, however, I thought he started last season. Yeah, he had a good season, so it is weird. Probably, I don't know what his contract situation is, but it could just be a, hey, pay me or. Yeah,
I think Utah classic Nets and Pelicans move. You look at what the guy with Joe Tsai said as well. He's like, we want the best pick possible for 2026. I think you know what that means. Like, for him to just come out and say that is crazy. But I think if I'm Walker Kessler, and we haven't even talked about an extension yet, I'm saying how y'all did Josh Giddey. I'm saying what happened with Cam Thomas, Kuminga. I'm saying, like, yo.
They made Markkanen sweat.
Yeah, they made Markkanen. It came down to the wire with Markkanen. And you traded all my friends. So I know you're not trying to be competitive no time soon. I think he would love to come play some competitive basketball. And to me, it's such an easy move for the Pelicans to do. It would be nice if the Pelicans had a young prospect who people might be interested in. But I think the longer they wait and him voicing his displeasure, the cheaper the brick get. And so I think now will be the time to make the call, man.
You know, speaking of bricks and cheap, I got some footage for us to review, man. Hold on one second.
The pelts are uglier than that little baby you pull out of the king cakes.
That baby is just, by the way, the concept of the king cake. I don't mean to culturally insult them, but I mean it's a tough thing. There's a hard piece of plastic in the middle of the cake.
I'm telling you, there's a lot going, especially like, you know, a lot of people that are eating those cakes are fairly inebriated.
Oh man.
I mean, think about when you're eating.
How many teeth are cracked on the baby every year?
Yeah, it's right. You know, but hey, you got Joe Dumars. He's gonna deliver you a winner, baby. Derek Queen, once he gets back from his little injury, he's all rookie campaign. Here you come.
Maybe.
Bobby, look like you wanted to say something.
Did he look in the mirror this morning, like before he said that? Like whatever, dog. Like, all right, people just don't understand the culture, I guess. Whatever, it is what it is. But I don't care about what these dudes say. Like I'd rather not get real disrespectful because I'm in a good mood. I had a great time at the Gentilly Fest this weekend. Kids had a wonderful time. I'd rather not say what I really want to say, but you know, I digress, man.
Ross, you look like you want to say something.
It just sounds so dumb. Like, they just sound dumb, like dumb and uneducated. It just sounds stupid. And they're all three white, which just kind of bothers me that they're up there. Like, come on, man. Like, fuck. Like the dude on the right. Who's the dude on the right that didn't say anything?
Was that Legler?
Bone Tone, I think.
Tim Bonton.
He had a look on his face like, damn, these dudes sound kind of stupid too, which is what I'd have been doing. You just sit there on mute, let these two morons ramble about whatever they're talking about. It just sounded dumb. First off, the little damn plastic baby in there isn't even ugly. The thing, it just is what it is.
The faces.
Like what are they even talking about?
How many people crack their teeth? Winnie the Pooh, dog, you probably
inebriated.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, you probably eat buku whatever donuts. Like, yo, you probably got your own donut shop yourself. Like, let's move off the sugary stuff. Let's move off the jokes, dog, because we could really tailor this for you. We can get you right. Pause.
I think it's incredibly hard to consistently create content. And when you're following a number of teams, sometimes you just don't know what to say. And when you don't know what to say, sometimes it's really best to shut the fuck up or just stick to like the easy notes. Like, oh, we'll see what happens. But the thing, and I would love to talk to Joe Dumars. I'm gonna have to run down on Joe Dumars and ask him about this, though. I gotta get a quote from you, Joe. I gotta get a quote from you, bro. It's the only way I'm gonna feel better about this. I don't know, aside from the Darko Military shit, and it ain't like Carmelo won a bunch of rings, but aside from the Darko shit, why do people hate Joe Dumars the way they do? Because to me, so much of how the Pelicans are viewed is because people dislike Joe Dumars. And I just don't, because when you look at his resume, David Griffin was never met with the same amount of scrutiny that Joe Dumars has been met with. He took multiple teams to the finals, multiple teams to the Eastern Conference Finals, one as a player, one as an executive, one big as an executive several times. And he ain't even been in the league for like 10, 20 years. So if you're going to say, well, that brand of basketball he was doing 10, 20 years ago ain't relevant no more. It's like, okay, cool. But why? Okay, so why are you still holding on to the shortcomings from there? If you're going to hold on to the shortcomings, you might as well talk about how he built a championship caliber team and had 4 All-Stars out of a bunch of journeyman motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might as well focus on some of the positives as well. But I think, and I can tell you just from experience, like hearing this firsthand, New Orleans is only people are generally a fan of New Orleans in national media when they're winning. When they ain't winning, or when they ain't got no like major relevance going on, they don't be knowing what to say. They don't keep up with these teams. Like they don't be knowing jack shit. Even some of the players, like Bruce Brown, he couldn't wait to get out of here. Like some of them dudes, as soon as they get here, they trying to be on the first thing smoking. You know, it's bizarre to me.
I'd like to have at this subject. I feel like I just want to say that I really think it was very insulting to throw Derek Queen in at the end of that. Like that, like what was the point of that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to think that these guys are the leader in sports entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Like they supposed to be all world, all knowledgeable about, you know, everything, especially like Windhorst basketball related. I don't really respect McMahon like that. He ain't really got nothing going on. To be honest, Windhorst got hit because of LeBron. Like he rolled LeBron's coattails to, you know, wherever LeBron was going. And honestly, like I'm not really trying to fat shame anybody, but I've never looked at Windhorst and thought that he would turn down a sugary dessert. Like I don't see him having the willpower of me sitting a piece of king cake in front of him and him being like, no, I'm good. I'm going to recluse myself from the table here. You know what I'm saying? I've eaten king cake my entire life. I've never bit the baby in my life. I've never done that. And secondly, like, listen, you disrespect the Pelicans, that's one thing. All right. You know, you disrespect Joe Dumars, that's another thing. You disrespecting king cake? I ain't standing for that. I ain't living or dying with that. Like, you just gonna have to come to hell with me.
Yeah, I don't get it, bro. It's almost like Austin, like when Austin first was like really getting on the scene, or with South by Southwest, they had the slogan "Keep Austin Weird." Boy, Austin a long way from their peak, boy. They didn't got the Austin.
Yeah, they got him. They got him.
But it's like sometimes you feel like that about New Orleans, where it's like, nah, let's just kind of keep it insulated. We don't really want all them national media games. We don't really want y'all talking about us. Because, like, to Ross's point, it's just a lack of knowledge. It comes from a point of ignorance. And it puts me in a place where I never want to be, and that's defending the Pelicans.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just not, I ain't no Captain Saver hoe. I ain't no Rest Haven for hoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a stump down P. So, fuck all that.
And look, and lastly, McMahon, these guys are inebriated eating king cake.
Yeah.
Like,
why would you? What is that?
Like, the fuck is this the weave talking about, bro?
What the fuck? Like,
fucking lame ass. Like, bro, get
horny.
This is why people think like access gives you like this cred. Like nobody checking for you, dog. Like nobody asking for your restaurant advice. Nobody, you not cool, bro. You just cover the NBA. Great, cool. You curtail other people for information to put it on TV. But that don't make you cool, bro. I've seen you in the hallway. Nobody checking for you, dog. Like it's okay. Just keep it moving, man.
We need our hotel friends to keep us in the loop when one of them clowns rolls up here. Because I'm gonna send so many king cakes and king cake babies. They're not gonna be able to get out of their hotel room. They're just gonna be leaned up. They're gonna open the door and
fucking collapse.
We might have to. I ain't even getting no good king cakes either. They're
gonna get a bunch of Walmart shit.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just walk in and say, how many? I need all the like. You got extra king cake babies? I can. Then just make somebody's
hilarious, dog.
You know,
let me know if Chubbs checks into their hotel at some point this season.
That's another thing, though. I'm telling you, relationships, bro. Because when what's his name? What homie name?
Man? Loser.
When Griffin was here, and Pelicans was the talk of the town. Pelicans was the belle of the ball. Now, Windhorst partner gone, fuck those guys. Fuck those guys, but it's all right. We can move on. We're gonna see
if we can find cuz of Diet King Cake. We got him. Before we get to the chat questions, man, we got 126 people in here. Somebody give me a like count, man.
For sure, get it.
Let's see who we at.
We appreciate all y'all rocking with us, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely what y'all said, man. Really appreciate y'all. You know, the whole summer. I mean, the Pel season been over since down to April. Y'all still been, we got 77 likes. Appreciate your game. Appreciate you, JB. Y'all been rocking with us. Appreciate you, Trey. The entire time, man. So we really been, we really appreciate y'all. Prospect, not tonight, dog, but I got you soon. Next Sunday, I promise you, we gonna drop the link, bro.
We gonna have some games to talk about next Sunday.
Yeah, we gonna have some games to talk about next Sunday. They play Tuesday, right?
They play Tuesday against the Rockets, and boy, they got some physical matchups coming up. Tuesday against the Rockets and Thursday against Orlando. Two of the Pelicans, I don't want to use that term, but two of the Pelicans' biggest weaknesses, I'll say weaknesses and deficiencies, they got to face up against in back-to-back matchups this preseason. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah. I got some over unders for us, man. Before we get out of here and we get to the chat questions. Ross, over under Pels 40.5 wins.
Oh, close. I'm gonna say I gotta say under that under. Reluctantly, I reluctantly, but I think slightly under. But that's still way over the 30.5 that you could get them on the. You can check with FanDuel. You can still you can get somewhere between. But so look, 38 would be a win. We'd be all right. I'd be cool with that.
Tap in with FanDuel, man. We still made the plan with that. Chaz.
Whoa.
Over under Pels top 12 defensive ranking.
Under. I say like 15.
Gotcha. 5 over under Zion 6 games of 30 points this season.
Over. Yeah. Speaking of over, look, Connor trying to get Roblox. Chat, y'all want to help him out?
Yeah.
Let me know. I ain't buying that. I ain't buying it.
Drop the link for Con. We need a Con link.
Yeah.
Chaz, over under 25 games with 6 or more assists for Jordan Poole.
You said 25 games, 6 or more assists. I'm gonna take the under. No, my bad. I'm gonna take the over. I just thought about he got some easy alley oops he could throw. I'm gonna take the over.
All right. Ross.
Yes.
15 games where Trey makes 5 or more threes. Over under.
15. That's a lot of threes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot of threes where he makes 5 or more.
You're attempting 12. You're between 10 and 12.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna take the over on that, man.
We got him. We got him.
Okay.
We fucking got him. Nah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Over. I'm not. Let me look. How many did he get last year?
Of games where he made 5 or more?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Last year, that's a good question, man. Hey, well done, Lito. Last year he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shoot, he had a bunch last year. Oh, he going.
Oh yeah, you take the over. He barely played last year. Yeah,
he had a bunch last year. That might be an easy over.
Yeah.
Bet the FanDuel parlay on that one, guys. All right, let's see. 5 over under 8 blowout losses with a greater than 15-point margin.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
8 blowout losses?
8.
15 points, right?
Yep. Greater than 15.
It's close. I'm gonna say under at 7.
Okay. Chaz, number of times the Pelicans steal a game against a top 4 seed. Over or under 4.5?
I'm gonna say under because we're gonna be a top 4 seed. So I think I'm taking the under. I'm saying, they gotta worry about stealing a game from us.
Off the rip. Last one. Ross. 20 over under. The Pels will outscore the opposing team's bench 20 times this season.
That one, I think I will take the over on.
Okay.
I think I like some of our bench units, depending on what that looks like. So you're saying where we win the bench battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Well, shit, man. Let's get to some of these some of these chat questions, man. Y'all got something dropping in the chat. Appreciate y'all with the over on the guys. Ashton, shout out to Ashton, man. Became a subscriber today. We appreciate you, my dog. Welcome home.
You think Ashton's a man or a woman?
I don't know. That's just why I just said my dog, because
Shout out Ashton.
Dog
is unisex.
Yeah, it's gender neutral. Shout out to Jalen. He said not disrespectful when the only team we've beaten. Excuse me, when the only team we're definitely better than is the Jazz.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that, Jalen.
Why?
It's kind of objective.
Let's look.
I mean, subjective.
What's their conference?
Because
even if you throw the Kings in there too. Okay.
I say the Kings, right? I would say I don't think the Lakers very good, to be honest. I mean, I think if Luka plays, they'll be good, but Luke, you got bad back Brian, Luka, DeAndre Ayton, who kind of over the hill, Marcus Smart, Rui, Austin Reeves. Like, I think on paper, and then the Suns really
Phoenix,
just got Devin Booker to me.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Jalen Green, I give Jalen Green his props, but
Chad, you scared of Spurs? You scared of Spurs?
No, I ain't gonna lie. I might be disrespectful with this dog, but I really just see Wemby as like
Me too.
Kristaps
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
I
just think he's Porzingis, though. Like I really do.
I think he's better than Porzingis, but
I think he's better.
I think in general, I'm totally with you. In the general premise, I agree.
I ain't scared at all, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now they got a lot of wing depth that could end up being interesting, like if Devin Vassell end up being good, but yet and still, no.
It don't make no sense why they hadn't made that'll derail.
And then Dallas, Kyrie
they should make a swing for the fences trade.
I wanted them to trade for Durant so he could tank their team and it'd just be over. We get the shit over with. But I think that's
Dallas.
That's an interesting bonus team. But Dallas, no Luka, AD got one eye. Kyrie hurt.
Yeah, that's good.
Cooper right. Balling, but Cooper gonna carry the load of the team. Lively always hurt. Nah, see the thing I feel like with the Pelicans is I can't give all these other teams benefit of the doubt when they've not as troubled, but when they have their own group of troubles, just like the Pelicans do. And right now, the Pelicans kind of got in the lead for as like the war of attrition. Things could change though.
Well, how you feel about this comment? He said that Sabonis, Levine, and DeMar in the same tier as the Pels Big Three.
I think he's saying that because Brandon gone. I think if Brandon was here, he wouldn't be saying that. I think Jalen's a fan of Brandon, which I respect. But no, I totally disagree with you. Totally disagree. But because
that too.
I saw Levine and DeMar fail in Chicago. I've never seen this Big Three in unison. So it's not, you can't even really say it matter of factly.
I gotta apologize. Who is the Pels Big Three?
It would be Trey, Zion, and Luke. Zion by himself is better than all three of those guys.
I guess
Poole.
I guess you gotta say Poole.
Yeah. Yeah, Zion by himself.
We're getting pretty liberal with the use of Big Three, but
yeah. I don't know if that's the Kings. The Kings might not even say that's their Big Three. Like the Kings might be like Murray and I Big Three. Who the DeMar? What the fuck?
DeMar.
Why you say it?
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
DeMar.
Shout out to Dark Knight, man. He said I think they can win 49 games. How you feel about that?
Oh, my bad. I ain't hear you say something.
No, it's all good. Dark Knight said he think they can win 49 games. Like, how you feel about that?
That the Pelicans can win 49?
Yeah.
Man, anything can happen. You're already seeing like an injury-led season already, so it could happen. But also other things need to kind of go right. Like you need, I think, potentially 2 all-stars on your team. Then they need to carry your team through a very contentious part of your season, especially like January, the dog days of the NBA. Like going into All-Star break, you need to really go on a roll, have a couple of 10-game winning streaks, that would help you. And I don't think Willie's has he ever had that?
Is he who?
10-game winning streaks?
Damn,
Nah.
you said a couple.
He ain't never, I don't think he ever had 5.
But I'm saying, like,
yeah.
I'm saying, say if you had, where you won, 5 out of 7, then you double that up with a 7 out of 10, like these winning, like these groups.
He's never had one.
Oh, he's never had a 10-game winning streak.
His longest win streak has been 2 5-game win streaks.
So no.
Oh, okay.
Well, 49 don't really seem
That's crazy bad.
He's had multiple 10-game losing streaks. Though.
Yeah, okay.
He has had multiple 10 games.
That is crazy.
He's never won 5 in a row, I think, right?
6 in a row.
6 in a row.
All right. Oof.
That's so crazy. He's been a head coach around. This is year 5 or something.
Year 5.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shaq Zilla said over under 10-game winning streak, 1.5.
I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, take
the under on that one, Shaq. Take the under.
No, one thing I've learned though, after we move on to the next question, sometimes the sun shine on the dog ass too. So the Pelicans, the Pelicans due for some luck, dog. The Pelicans are due for some luck, and I think this is gonna be the year. They're gonna get some luck.
I hope so, bro.
They luck up in fire with a green. Oof, can't wait.
We all need some luck in this situation.
James Franklin got the can today.
Man, you seen that?
Sometimes at some point you gotta. So that's how I feel about Willie. At some point you gotta win something, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Let's see. That boy, what up, Calvin? Calvin said, "What's up, family? Closer to the season that Hawkins still can't dribble." It's tough.
Oh, Hawk dog.
That's not his skill set, they said.
So let's go with that. Let's go with that.
I got a show dropping about Jordan Hawkins soon. Oh my god. Shout out to Hawkins, man.
Shout out to our dog Jackus Margella, man. Jackus said, "Are y'all as worried about the center position?" Whoever wanna
worried?
Ross.
What?
Yes.
Like, what's your worry level, Ross? 1 out of 10.
That in most nights, 9 out of 10 nights, we're gonna have a potentially a significant, like we're gonna be significantly worse at that position entering the game than the other team. Like we're gonna be at a disadvantage at that position almost every single night.
If you can value that, would it be like a negative 10 points per game, like at the center position? Like, how could you quantify that?
Well, I don't know. I'm hopeful it's less than that. Like, I'm hopeful that this Looney and Messi thing combo. I'm hoping like Looney provides a little bit of stability in 12 minutes, and that Messi takes a step forward. But just be realistic. Like, there's a risk that doesn't happen. Like, Messi's still a young player, and Looney is still kind of an old player that, like, I think is somewhat limited. And when you look at the other centers in the West, like I'm not saying this to be like disrespectful to those two players. I think they both are like, rotation NBA players. Yeah. Problem is like, just I don't want to sit here and list all the players, but like just go through the West. There's some tough matchups in there, and I just think it's a position that like we're not as good at. I mean, and it's simple as that. Like we go into most nights with a significant disadvantage at that position. Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Hey, Ross, you know what's crazy? I'm more worried about the power forward position, but it's kind of like 6 eggs, half a dozen, right? I'm more so worried about the power forward position because I trust Looney as a screen setter. I trust a rebounder and, stuff like that, the rim defense. But at that forward position, my options is kind of bleak when it comes to rebounding because I actually had a tweet put up like with the centers. No, this season, the Pelicans got to face Jaren Jackson Jr., Edey, Klingon, Ayton, Sengun, Adams, Wemby, Cornette, Mark Williams, Jokic, Gobert, Anthony Davis, Gafford, Zubac, Naz Reid, Randall, Hartenstein, Chet, Lively, Jonas, Brook Lopez, Kessler, Jabari, John Collins. Like, even when you get to the 4, there's no real safe haven. And I left off people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think if you the Pelicans, like the thing I do like is that they are getting like just bodies out there, pause. But when you just talk about just from a size standpoint, a motherfucker that can just reach their hand up in the air and grab a rebound, get a putback. The Pelicans don't have that right now. That's why I think you're going to have to find rebounding from other places. That's why I think that power forward position is such a critical need that they have to address.
That's fair. That's fair.
Go ahead, Ross. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that's fair. I mean, it's just really Chaz just named him. I mean, I think there's most nights the other team's backup center would probably start for us in the West.
I totally
most
agree.
Nights. When you really go through it, if you're really, really honest, that can be a bit scary. It's just
we ain't even taking into consideration foul trouble. Looney or Messi can pick up 2 cheap fouls in the first quarter. Now, oh shit, Carlo, it's your time to shine, baby. Let's go, Hunter Dickinson. Let's get out there, man.
Hunter,
we're back to the Aaron Gray days.
Jesus Christ,
Aaron Gray started on this thing.
Greg Steamsma,
man. Shout out to Greg, man.
Shout out to that boy Shane. Five, you want to know anybody a little worried about Poole's shot IQ?
No, not really. I think he's a super smart player. At times he gets out of pocket, but you almost need it. You need it. You need somebody that's fearless on shots like that. I mean, man, we just watched 4 or 5 years of Brandon Ingram not wanting to shoot threes. I'm cool with a guy overshooting a little bit and keeping pressure on the defense. Even the thought of him attempting to shoot from long range actually opens up space for it's beneficial and opens up space for other players. So not really tripping on it. Good question though, Shane. Appreciate it, bro.
No doubt. Again, shout out to that boy. I don't know how to say this, but shout out to you, my dog. Pelicans to the rest of the NBA F y'all all season for sure, 1000%. Clay wants to know, does Trey or Zion being an all-star benefit this team more in winning terms, not media perception or anything like that? Ross, you kind of talked about this actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think probably Trey, if I'm being honest. I think if Trey jumps to that all-star value, in terms of just being a do-it-all winner, I think that will elevate this team more than because I just think you know what you're going to get from Zion. I don't necessarily think he's going to add a lot to his game, but I think if he's healthy, his game is already, you know what you're going to get, and if Trey makes that jump to an all-star, then I think that makes a bigger difference.
Shout out to Clay again, man. Clay said, could we be a top 5 transition team? Top 3?
I would say top 5. I just saw Kuminga. I don't even know who he dunked on. Some creative player, motherfucker. Get out of here, bum. But Warriors still down by 12. Boy, Steph going through it. But so I think, man, it's all about rebounding. Top 5. I think that's why. One person, and I can't let him off the hook, dog. I need Herb to take that Siakam light step. I need you to take a small Siakam step. I really need Herb to rebound this season. I really, really need that to happen because his offensive duties will be so limited given the shots I expect Trey and Poole to take. That is if you could be the guy rebounding and help start the break. We already know his distribution scales from what he was able to do in the SEC. And, he's pretty good. One of the best Euros, I think, that I've seen in transition as far as Herb. I really need Herb to help on them boards, man, if he's in that starting lineup. And this team, I think in transition, they could be monstrous, personally.
Absolutely. David O'Connor wants to know what y'all want to see from them boys on Tuesday against the Rockets. Anything particular, anything specific y'all want to see? Are you looking for?
Go ahead,
I would like to see us play faster, more in transition. Yeah, I want to see more fluid like basketball.
I want to see Micah. Oh, my bad.
Less getting up the court and get into a set. I want to see like principles, push the ball up the floor, even if it means we're taking quick shots. Like, I think that's how this team has to play. Go ahead.
I want to see Micah Peavy guard Kevin Durant if Kevin Durant plays. If not, I want to see him guard Ben Thompson. And I want to see how they match up against what I expect to be a 2 big lineup with Steven Adams and Alfred Sengun or Jabari or what have you. I want to see who they even throw out there in the starting lineup, right? Because it just ain't no way you think you're about to go against these 2 big lineups with the height you got out there. It just ain't no way after being last in the league, close to last in the league last year in defensive rebounding. So I just want to see how they what's the word I'm looking for, Matt? Counter that. I just want to see how they counter that.
Real. What you got? Oh, all right. My bad.
Side I take. Pooty tank.
David also said, how would Walker work with Messi and Messi? He had me fucked up. I think he was talking about Messi and Looney.
One would have to go, right? No,
absolutely.
Messi,
possibly. See, I kind of see. Depends on the goal. Because if you think Messi can give you some minutes at the 4, and I see Looney as transitional, to be honest. That's why he got that team option for the second year. I think they're going to be like, all right, Loon, go sit down next year. Or they're going to be like, look, we're going to bring you back on like $4-5 million. We want you to mentor the young guys, man. Teach them how to be pros. But I think with Messi, Messi and because even Kessler was a co-starter for quite a bit of his career, as far as like Ross mentioned, pairing with John Collins. So he does have his lapses as well. And I think even if you were to move, let's say if you move Messi and you say, all right, we started Walker. Looney just told you, he's like, I don't want to come off the bench really. I want to be out there, on the front lines, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I thought was a little telling that made him win a little unnoticed, that he was like, nah, I felt like I wasn't being trusted to go up against the big dogs, like those heavier fives. I think you would try to keep Messi, and you would just view Looney as like, expiring guy at that point. My offer would be Hawkins, a first, and a swap.
Well,
I made
but I think it'd work. I think Walker's your starter. It solidifies that. Allows you to be more dynamic with like when you play Messi and when you play Looney, depending on the game. If it's like super smart, savvy veteran, you probably are going against a super smart, savvy veteran. You're probably going to use Looney or one of the elite guys rather than Messi, and allow him to kind of gain his confidence against lesser opponents. So I don't know. It makes you be more versatile if you're Willie Green. I think if you're Willie Green, you probably are looking at that trade or possibility of that trade like, please let it happen.
Residuals, Ball. I looked at Ball, man. I thought Ball averaged 3 rebounds, man. That's what I was like, oh nah, I'm tripping. Man. It's like, and like just looking at it's a reason. He worked with me. It's like, but I think I work for the government, so I'm working right now. So I think when you look at what Troy Weaver did with Durant and Stewart and a couple of other bigs they had out there, I don't think it's really beyond them to say, oh shit, I got the Twin Towers here, and Messi and Kessler, Looney gonna train them, Looney gonna teach them, and then once Looney gone, I'm gonna have Queen coming in, because I think we might have been penciling in Carlo as a short thing maybe a little bit too much, because I believe in Carlo though, but might be penciling in Carlo as a short thing a little too much, No
doubt. Man, a couple more. Black Preacher Man for the $2 win, man. We appreciate you. Come on, man. Y'all not from there. No, let him. I think he talking about Windhorst.
Yeah, talking about them boys, man.
Black Preacher Man again. Shout out to my dog for the two bills.
Appreciate you, my dog.
Will Dumars give Hawkins another contract?
I can't see it.
Give?
No.
Hell no.
Wasn't his pick.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
That dog don't hunt, in the words of my 10th grade geometry teacher.
Shout out geometry.
Shout out to geometry, man. I'm a sign your pity on the runny con Pootie Tang. Gotcha. What overall Trey finish season with?
Sounds like a 2K question, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm
I think he's just saying what overall is Trey going to finish the season with? Probably like point, rebounds, assists. If I had to guess.
Oh, shout out to Pootie, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Pootie, but appreciate the $2, my boy.
I'm gonna say 23 and a half, 5 and 3.
23, 5 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
On the low end. 23 points, 5. I'm gonna say 23 and a half points, 5.5 rebounds, and like 3.5 assists. I'm gonna just say that just to be on the safe side.
What Smokey Mama said? That ain't it, dog. That ain't gonna be no all-star.
Yeah. But I think if the team's very good, Trey all-star reserve unless look, he could have a dynamic but I just think it depends on how many attempts he getting. If he could get up to like 21 attempts because they rebounding and getting out in transition, that'd be crazy. But I think he get like 19 attempts off the rip.
Even that. That's the points, dog.
You think 19 attempts? What y'all say, like 25?
I'm gonna say 24.
Attempts,
I don't think.
No, I'm talking about points.
Oh.
I don't think.
I'm gonna say 24.
You say 25? You say 24, Lito?
I say 24.
5. He gotta average a double.
You think?
I say he got to. Like, I don't see how you can't be talking like this and not averaging a double, dog.
He's not gonna get 10 rebounds, guy. That would be such a I hope he does. That just seems like
I think he could get this. I think he could get the 7.
I can't see it either.
7? Hey, you can't be talking cash money and saying you're going to get 7 rebounds.
I can't see it.
23
points. But if it's 7 rebounds and he's doing a bunch of others, he's doing like winning shit, then
all right, listen. He's never been a really good defender, right?
No.
Like, we know that. I think rebounding is the thing that you can pick up. That's the other attribute for you. You're 6'10". What? Yeah, you ain't gonna block that many shots because you're probably gonna be on the perimeter. Maybe some chase down stuff, but you're not averaging 2 blocks a game. No. The rebounding is the thing that's really going to put him in a different
I got a question for y'all. Who has a better individual season this year? Mobley in Cleveland, individual. Mobley in Cleveland or Trey Murphy?
Mobley.
Ooh. Yeah. Ross?
Yeah, I think Mobley, man. He's just so much better defensively. Like so. Like there's a cavern. Like Trey's a little bit better offensively. Like he's a little better offensively.
He like elite.
But it's like a different. You talking about a different thing defensively. Like it's a totally different.
5.
This is the argument. Mobley ain't half of Trey offensively, in my opinion. He ain't half.
Because to me, if Mobley and Trey are in the discussion for being like talent peers this season, this overall players, like, then you're talking about a hell of a incline.
Oh man.
Here's the if Because I think Mobley made the All-Star team last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he did, yeah.
If Trey wants to make an All-Star team, it will have to come in a similar way to how Mobley made his, which was your team has to win games. Like, you've got to win.
Great.
Mobley was averaging whatever, I don't know, 18 and 10 or, blocking a bunch of shots. And he actually shot pretty good from 3 last year, from what I recall.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger difference is if our team is sitting in the top 3 of the West, Trey gonna make the All-Star team. Like, it don't matter what the numbers are. If you're sitting there at your typical 9 or 10 spot, you ain't gonna make it. Like, that's just what it is. Even if he's averaging 25, he ain't making it. If you're sitting there in the 9 or 10 spot, he just isn't. The Pelicans aren't going to get 2 people on the All-Star team. They might not get 1. They probably won't get 1.
Let's go off their 4th season comparisons. So obviously Trey only played 53 games, but Trey averaged 21.2. Evan averaged 18.5. Evan averaged 9.3 rebounds. Trey averaged 5.1. Evan averaged 3.2 assists. Trey had 3.5. Trey had 1.1 steals. Evan had 0.9, basically a steal. Evan had 1.6 blocks a game to Trey 0.7. Trey obviously took 9 threes a game last year. Evan took 3. He shot it at 37%. Trey shot it at 36%. They both attempted the same amount of free throws in 4.3.
Yeah. Trey, I think I give the edge to Evan, but see, the thing is, I would expect Evan to be better because where Evan was drafted. But at the same time, I feel like Trey got more upside than Evan. I think if Evan just don't do nothing else, he's gonna be like a defensive player of the year candidate. I don't think Trey ever gonna be in that discussion, but I think Trey could be like a multiple time, like all-star type guy.
So I think Evan has the advantage right now because of his position and who he plays with. Right?
Oh yeah, he got help. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a screener on a team with 2 dynamic guards. And they just had Ty Jerome too. Right? Like, he's in the role when they're putting pressure on the rim constantly. Right? They're trying to get downhill and they shoot. And they shoot well. So when you're the alternate guy, you could be dynamic. It's gonna look like your game is elevating when you're not asked to do things like Trey got 1 play in the system. He got 1 play. That's it. Last year. Like, he didn't screen, he just spaced. He shot from 40 because there wasn't anything else for him to do. But I think, again, this goes back to the rebound. If he adds these very simple things to his game, I'd say simple, getting 8 to 10 rebounds a game, like, his game will elevate. Like, he'll get noticed more. The winning will happen if he does these things. But I think we're judging them in 2 different lights, in a sense, when you're comparing these 2 players.
You gotta say some Zero?
No. I mean, no, I don't disagree necessarily with all of that. It's more of like Trey's value is going to be derived from like offensive rebounding. It just is, and because it's not Mobley doesn't have any plays called for him either. Shit, Donovan Mitchell don't pass the ball to anybody, and so he's not getting plays. But the way he impacts the game is just different. Right, than the way Trey can. And it's in a lot of ways it's going to impact winning more. And I mean, it would just be a big jump, I think, for Trey's. I'm talking about value, big picture value. But getting to 9 or 10 rebounds a night would sure as hell get him closer.
If Trey could start at the 4, if Trey could start at the 4, I think it would help tremendously. If he could rebound at the 4, get like 8 rebounds, 7, 8 rebounds. That would help tremendously.
They're going to have to. This team, like, it's fair to say, like, they're not going to win. Like, if him and Zion aren't collectively getting what?
I'll say at least 13, 14 rebounds.
I thought the number was higher than that.
You going to say like 20?
No, I wasn't going to say 20, but I was going to say somewhere between 15 and 20. Like, if they're not collectively getting 15 to 20 a night. I just don't think they're going to win.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Not easy to win, bro.
Yeah, it's hard. Man.
Well, that's all we got, man. We'll holler at y'all probably Tuesday after the game. We'll see y'all. For my dogs, you know what I'm saying? The boss Ross, you know what I'm saying? The Hammer Rattlesnake. Shout out Chad. Shout out Taz. Shout out John Deere. You know what I'm saying? Sunshine. Shout out FanDuel. Shout out Scott Vicknair and the Vicknair Law Firm. Shout out everybody. Wait, Ross, who the ambulance?
That's AC ambulance, man. If your heater AC goes out, call them boys. They got the ambulance. They got the AC ambulance.
Need that. Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Look forward to seeing them soon. As for us, we out, man. Peace.